Ignacio, Katipunero, sugod, todo sa tulong at tulog. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan.
Feeling ever thought of looking into the bright side of things?
Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpa at tama. Buhay atin mista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugod, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting at tigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan.
Let us understand mental health and explore how we can take care of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Welcome to your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits with Pat and B, here on MindEd.
Sa'yo sumisilong kapag ang puso ko'y pagod.
All right. Good evening, guys. Welcome to MindEd, your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits. My name is V. I am just a letter. And I don't have Patrick with me right now because he is celebrating his first anniversary with Chai. So it's just me at the moment, but don't worry, I'll have the gang later on. So how are you right now? I mean, this is going to be quite a struggle for me because I haven't gone solo in a long time. But I'm excited because I'll have like some of the RK hosts with me tonight. So it's just another like group session for us. So without further ado, maybe I'll just bring them in one by one. So I'll have first siguro yung pinakamalapit sa age ko. Kasi kanina pa kami nag-age reveal, guys. Malapit sa age ko. I have here from JMM Radio, Lester Mendiola. Hi, Les.
Hello, good evening. Grabe, may age reveal. Aga-aga.
Oo, inunahan ko na because since kanina pa natin siya pinag-uusapan. So yun, welcome back to MindEd. And then we'll have another returning guest. We have Maxine Cruz from the program New Wave. Hi, Max.
Hi! Hi, students!
So na tayo sa age review. Welcome back to MindEd. And we have like first time on MindEd, but not first time on our radyo-katipunan. We have Austin Yap, also from the program MindEd. Kasama niyo si Max. Hey, Austin.
Hi,
welcome.
Yeah. Hello.
And again, this is not a student program. Okay, joke
not.
lang tayo. Right. Okay,
Yeah, so
and then
thank you for having me. Yes.
Of course, of course. And thank you for being here. So we'll just enjoy this episode. And of course, last but not the least, definitely, our master producer slash ano nangyayari, Justin? So we have Justin, of course, Martina of radyo-katipunan, our producer, who's gonna be joining us as well.
Hoy! Hoy!
Yes, nagulat ako
background
sa
ni
Your background.
It might win, guys. Come on.
I mean, I said that this is just gonna be a light episode, pero hindi ko in-expect yan.
He just walked through you.
I know. Just to break the ice, kumbaga.
I know. Okay, consider it broken. Alright, so... Okay, so we usually start the show by saying... Okay, umalis na siya. We usually start the show by making kumustahan. So that's usually our kumustahan portion. And since wala si Patrick today, I'm gonna be asking our guests for today. I think I can't stop calling you guests na. You're like my co-hosts for today. We're just gonna have fun. Okay, sino una? Yung una kong tinawag siguro. Ganun na lang. Hi Les, how are you today? How is your week?
My week is
we last
fine.
talked.
It's a busy week for me. Pero today siguro kanina, di ba? Bago tayo mag-on air, I kind of feel disoriented kasi parang medyo na-rearrange yung kwarto ko today. So, yun. Pero okay naman ako. Generally.
Okay, that's good. I mean, okay is generally okay. That's good. But you have to explain later kung paano na-rearrange yung kwarto mo ha, because you were telling us that na-move yung pintuan. I don't know. So people in the comment section, please, if you can figure out for us kung paano na-move yung pintuan, please do participate. Anyway, Max, how are you? How have you been?
Okay, so like this was our first proper school week, and it was a really big adjustment because it's our first semester in a while. That didn't make sense. But last year we followed the quarterly schedule, which meant like one module per week, and then now we're following a semestral schedule. So the load is super different, and it's taking a while to get used to. But apart from that, it's been pretty okay so far.
Okay, that's good. So, meron tayong dalawang okay. Bawal na mag-copy-paste, guys. No, I'm kidding. Alright, over to Austin. How have you been?
Yeah, I've been pretty good naman. Like, I've been trying to keep busy because I only have a few classes left for school, and I'm just trying to keep busy and trying to start looking for jobs or trying to get a job because it's really hard now with the pandemic and everything. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna pray for that. Kasi yeah, I totally understand. Medyo it's tricky now to find a job. You're actually applying and looking for one. But thank God for technology. Like we can just search and ask people around. And
yeah.
So yeah.
And LinkedIn.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So we have those platforms already. My God. Okay, di na ako mag-age reveal. Sasabihin ko sana nung panahon ko. Let's skip that part muna. Over to you, Justin. How are you? Kumusta ka?
How are me? How are me? Aside from the fact that I'm having a bad hair day because of my frizzy hair, well, generally fine, but I wouldn't say completely fine because of technological challenges. Kasi it's really hard to cope up with yung mga internet glitches and stuff like that. Yung mawawala yung internet mo. No, the whole day I've been struggling, parang kumbaga I was trying to battle out internet connections, no, not only here but also in the studio. So imagine doing remote, I mean, I can imagine those who are doing online classes, diba, or even doing online work.
because it's really hard, especially now that if ever, we're all reliant with it, in that sense. So yeah, but I mean, again, this is the new normal. So we are trying to be resilient, Naks, diba? We're trying to be resilient and finding ways to cope up with these challenges. And I thank you.
Thank you for your sharing. Yeah, sobrang I also do get the tech challenges that we have now, especially we are very, very, very much dependent on these technology that we have now, with work, with school, leisure, entertainment, guilty pleasures, I guess also. So, 'di ba? So we're very dependent on them. And mag-ano ka ng asin, Justin. Sabay ka ng blessed salt.
Oo. Kaya ng maalat sa ginawa ko na.
Oh, wow.
And salt.
Oh my God. Oh, kailangan ata. Baka kailangan din ng tech mag-rest.
Yes.
Right? We are promoting rest in this show after all. So, guys, I hope you guys are resting. Anyway, 15 minutes in the show. I don't want to us to waste any time. So, jumping into our topic. So, we actually wanted to raise this awareness that tomorrow, September 10, is actually World Suicide Prevention Day. And right now in the show, why don't we just, celebrate life? Don't you agree, guys? Wala kayong choice eh. Ganon. So, wala kayo. Yeah. So, I guess let's start off with the question. So again, like our group sessions, our group discussions, let's keep it casual. You are free to, talk about anything. You're free to react to anyone's remarks and answers. Ganyan. Tapos, yun, bahala na. Okay, so first question. What connects you with life, or what makes you feel alive? Let's talk about first. Let's talk about like maybe some interests or maybe some hobbies. Ganyan. Who wants to go first? Hindi na ako magro-roll call. Just raise your hand. In 3, 2. Wala talagang nag-raise. Okay, fine. Austin, since
I'll
you're
go
new
first,
here.
All right, I'll go
Yeah.
first. So, I think one of the hobbies that makes me feel maybe the most alive is I have 3 hobbies that I'd say that make me feel the most alive, or that gives me the best insight on what it means to be alive and life, which is music, movies, skateboarding, and comic books actually. Yeah. So I like movies because movies are a really good way to really understand a lot of different perspectives of people. So you understand like some deep things, like when you watch some dark dramatic movies, you find out how certain concepts are, like in There Will Be Blood. It's a very famous movie about business, and I really find it to be really good and really shows how good Daniel Day-Lewis is as an actor. And you have other movies like The Wolf of Wall Street that show you like this glamorous life of like money and success, but also shows you the bad side of it. So even though like you don't do all these things, you get to understand a lot about how life is or how certain things happen. And for skateboarding, why I really like skateboarding is a lot of people think skateboarding is just doing tricks, but what a lot of people don't notice is that it takes a lot of tries to do one skateboarding trick right. And so skateboarders really learn a lot about failure and how to like get up, because you're failing maybe 90% of the time, and then that 10% you nail the trick. And it's such a good life lesson once you get that. I only really like understood it when I started like skating. I'm like, yeah, I kind of see that. It's a really cool life lesson to learn. And for comic books, I think why I like it also is why I like movies. It's a very big medium where you can talk about superheroes, but it also talks about, but there's such a wide variety of things for comic books. So You can talk. There's comic books about Spider-Man, and there's this one comic book I really like where he his girlfriend Gwen Stacy died maybe a long time ago, and he has a tape recorder and he's telling his moments and like the last few months before she died, like how he felt. So I thought it was a really cool aspect. Yeah, but that's just for me.
It's really interesting
Mhm.
how I think the common thing that when I listen to you, the common thing I think dun sa the things that makes you feel alive or connected to life is that these are stories. Essentially, they're stories, and then you relate your life to it or you relate your lessons to it. And then I think it also, somehow prepares you for like reality, like facing the reality. One of those would be failure.
Mhm.
Kaya papasok si skateboarding. I'm curious though, nakakapag-skateboard ka pa rin during the like pandemic? Ganyan. Do you have the time and the space to do that?
Actually, during the earlier pandemic, I was able to a bit, but with the Delta variant now and everything, I think it's best to just stay home now. And I can just, I just like watching videos now, and I'm just waiting for the day that I can go out again and skate again and yeah, have a fun time.
Ang saya. Okay, sige. Later mag-exchange tayo ng movie list. Alright.
For sure, for sure.
Game. Sige. Sino next? Who's next? Guys, mag-volunteer kayo. Tayo-tayo lang to.
I can
Ay,
go
Leslie,
next.
go.
Siguro ako, I don't know if it's going to be a hobby, but recently I bought a bike. Tapos I feel that it's exciting kasi I don't know anything about bikes. So I did research what's a good brand to buy, and then I asked some friends as well. I did not ask for help buying it. As in, I pinili ko lang siya. Yun. Tapos, I tried biking already. Kailan ba yun? Monday or Tuesday this week. And then I learned that it's not easy. And I wanted to have some physical activity kasi. So, we have an elliptical machine here at home. Pero di ba it's different when you get to go to places. And I want that. So, parang I want to have a change in the activities that I have been doing at home. So, ayun, bumili ako ng bike.
Ang ganda ng risk na bumili ka, tapos wala kang alam. Sabihin ko sana, ayan, pwede na kayo mag-racing ni Austin. Skateboard, tsaka
Marunong naman ako mag-bike, pero...
Sino malalalo?
Just give me the time, Sir Lester.
Okay, at least that's keeping you busy, and I think what connects you to life then is like keeping, like parang taking care of yourself din, being mindful of yourself, your body, na parang okay, you need to exercise yung mga physical activities to help us go on, continue, and go to places. Ito na yung pinakagala natin. My gosh, no? Okay. Sige. Okay, who's next?
I'll go next. It looks like Sir Justin is dodging. So since you talked about hobbies, like recently I started crocheting again. So I showed you guys my Peter Rabbit, who doesn't have a jacket yet, and Sir Lester's whale. So that's really been keeping me busy and keeping me company. And then also what makes me feel alive are doing our shows, because like it's something to look forward to and prepare for every week. And like for me, that's been so important, having something to look forward to every week. Like whether it's a new episode of the Marvel TV shows or doing our shows, that really helps. And then like another thing, I guess, which is more of my outlet for emotions, is like writing however I feel, like whether it's a line that will lead to a stanza that will lead to a song, or really just saying I'm tired. It really helps a lot in feeling alive.
Right. So at first, like more being able to express something and having that outlet to do those things, yeah, super gets din. Sige, later ako magre-react. I kinda can relate to.
Yes. Yes, B. I think I'm next.
Question pa lang tayo. Oo, yes, you are next. What makes you feel alive?
Yung mga ganyang moments, that makes me feel alive, really. That brings out a lot, you know? No, but seriously, and you might tease me for saying this, but it's really my job here in radyo-katipunan. It's really one of the game changers for me because, you know, you know, even though we know work is work, it's hard. You'll experience a lot of challenges. I wouldn't really say that I love challenges, pero yung at least every day, like what Max said, diba? There is really something to look forward to. There's something new every day that you encounter. No, just like what happened earlier. That's something new in the show. So, yung ganon, diba? Parang there's always something new, something to look forward to, something that your body is programmed to expect in a way. So, yon. And also connecting with people, you know, having these conversations despite the distance, you know, and you know nga because of the online, because of technology, you'll be surprised that a lot of people, especially those that, you know, before you don't get to talk to them because of the distance, because they're busy. Now you can, you know, you can reach out to them. So, you know, sometimes I'm being surprised by someone I just, you know, parang I haven't spoken to for a long time. Tapos suddenly, you know, it will just pop up in my comment section or in my DMs or my, you know, messenger na, uy, kamusta? Uy, how are you doing? Yung mga ganon. So those simple things, you know, I think that those really, you know, make you look forward to living another day in your life. Mm-hmm. And I thank you again.
Thank you for sharing. I guess, sige, before ako I'll share muna. For me, I guess, actually, yun din I can relate to the writing stuff because I've been doing more writing than now since I shifted jobs. And also same with the physical activity kasi mas like hindi naman bago sa show na to that I love doing yoga, but now it's more mas naging mindful pa ako kasi actually medyo kaya masakit yung likod ko ngayon because I tried a new sequence. I landed on my neck badly yesterday, but I can still move. I am still alive, guys. Don't you worry. So yun, so let's let's do yoga. Sige, magkaroon tayo ng yoga stream, guys. But yeah, it's a challenge also. Kaya I can do relate with the challenges as well. They also do keep me alive kasi it's something new kahit na nakakatakot siya or right? Kahit na there's the danger talaga and that risk of, okay, masasaktan ako, but, you know, I can feel, I can live.
Parang there's this weird, surge of adrenaline or something. Or, if not, parang talagang, iba yung pakiramdam na parang, yung may kaba, yung mga mix ng ganon, parang it's still, kahit alam nating masama yung iba, yung mga ganong ibang feeling, di ba? Pero parang
surprise.
Oo, it's still it's still somehow makes sure, you know, your blood, you know, run around you, di ba? Yung ganon.
Oo. As in yung challenge, I mean, kunyari, Austin, you're skateboarding. Parang, di ba, every time you go on your board, parang, okay, kailan ako malalaglag? Don't you anticipate na gano'n? Or si Lester yung pagbabiking.
Sana
Hindi
wag
ba
naman
kayo
ako
nag-
mag-
Ano sabi nga nila, you have to learn how to fall the right way. Does that make sense?
It does actually in skateboarding, it's something we learn. Like to properly fall so you don't like get sugat a lot. Yeah. But yeah, and I think I also like heard that as like people we always need something to strive for, because if not you kind of lose like the will to live. So it's also good to always have something in front and always have something that makes you feel alive. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Oh my gosh, okay. Kasi naalala ko, actually kanina, I was parang may meeting ako kanina, and then medyo na-senti lang ako ng konti because the way we handled the meeting was sort of like how I handled the meetings before when I was still like starting in the industry. And I think parang siya naging refresher sa akin. So parang rebirth of some sort, but mas ano na ngayon, kumbaga parang hindi na ako like pagka-rebirth ko day 0 agad infant ako ulit, no. Yung pagka-rebirth mo parang okay, you're like wiser now and you appreciate things more because you're mindful of things more. So yeah, I think it's good to have those moments and to have those activities that connects us to life, with other people, internally with ourselves, being mindful of what we want and what we appreciate and what we can do. And appreciating, I think being mindful of, okay, kaya ko tong gawin. I can do this. So it's something that's worth celebrating. Now, speaking of celebrating, let's go to like when you celebrate life in general. Who makes you feel alive, or sinong kasama ninyo in this celebration of life? I guess that is like one question. Who wants to go first? Sige, ako na. I'll go first. Okay. So I think lahat naman tayo, so I'm gonna answer for all of us, our families. And our families, our friends, and ako personally, like some of the people that I work with and I'm also friends with. So yun, I think sila yung nagbibigay buhay sa akin because we understand each other on a certain level na para okay, kapag work tayo, this is work mode, and then we can easily shift to like the friendship cloud where we just bounce and do nothing and be sabaw together. so like I appreciate those things. So I have family, I have my friend, my constants especially, and sometimes, not all the time, I have to admit, but sometimes new people that I meet. Ano man sila, parang ano tawag dito, kahit because of work or parang introduced by someone or something else, parang it parang makes me feel excited to to meet new people because you get to, kumbaga parang feeling mo you can reinvent yourself, I don't know, and then you can live again, something like that. I don't know, does that make sense? Can anybody relate to that? Yes, tumungo lang sila, friends. Go ahead.
I actually think I can. Yeah, I relate to what you're saying because yes, I do find that it's really fun to talk to like different types of people where when you feel like when after talking to them you really gain a better understanding of like them or yourself or just certain things about life. So it's really fun to meet new people and get that like zest of like just that happiness of meeting new people. Right. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. Anyone else? Also, people in the comment section. People in the comment section. If you have answers to our questions, if you want to react, please do. We're gonna read them later para makarelate tayo sa discussion. Sorry, Les, I cut you.
Sorry, ako.
Justin pala. Okay, go.
No, we posted the question in our board, so
cool.
They be able to see it and comment down what their answers are. So yun nga, yung question natin today is what connects you with life? Ayan. Okay. So for me, my answer is ako ay I celebrate it with people that of course, not only the people that I love, but also the people that I have the same mindset as mine, siguro. Parang, di ba yung mga kumbaga, yung mga like-minded people, those people that look at the bright side of things, or at least, try to find a way to cope with situations that they find difficult. Kasi, yun nga parang maghihilahan pa ba tayo kung kunyari, you'll di ba, malungkot ka na and all, tapos you'll find another person na ganun din. Although, syempre, that's part of pakikiramay, di ba? I mean, pakikiramay dun sa tao, di ba? But, at the end of the day, one has to be strong for somebody, di ba? Or for another person. So, sometimes, of course, you'll choose depende nga lang. Ako, for my case, parang I'll choose myself na lang to be stronger for the other person. Diba? Kasi, yun nga, diba? Kung parehas nga kayong ganon, paano na lang? Saan na kayo pupulutin? Diba? Pero, even, aside from that, siguro, syempre, I suppose there are some people who also have their special someones, yung mga ganon. But at the same time, yun nga, it also depends on the degree of the relationship. Parang how deep it is, how deep your relationship is with that person, di ba? Yung affinity mo. Kasi kung mababaw lang din, parang it doesn't really substantiate yung connection, di ba? Yun. So, baka mag-love, na ako dito, advice. But seriously, yun.
Dr. Love, ikaw ba yan?
Actually, pwede rin naman. Sige, gusto mo bang mag-switch tayo ng topic?
Hindi na.
Joke lang.
Hindi na.
Yeah, I guess, I think it's also like natural for us to feel alive when we feel that we are talking, I guess, to people that we are aligned with. Actually, yun pala yung naisip kong term kanina na parang, I have a friend na one of my constants na almost every morning kami magkausap. And then, sabay din kami, like nag-uusap, sabay kami, same topic yung i-bring up namin. And then, why are we so aligned? It's so freaky. Parang, it's too much togetherness. Parang at 7 a.m., aligned na tayo, friend. Parang galing naman. So, it's really exciting. Sige, Max, how about you?
I was going to go from that actually, but for me it hasn't just been alignment, but it's also been annoyance because this quarantine I found that feeling alive, it's not just being super happy and excited. I remember pre-pandemic we'd be all oh, you feel most alive when you're doing things that you love, when you're so happy, high on life. But then in the song by the Goo Goo Dolls, Iris, when they say you bleed just to know you're alive, that really took on a new meaning for me this quarantine, because I found that I didn't just feel alive when I was happy, but I would also all of those negative feelings are also indicators that I'm alive. So of course, when you celebrate life, who do I celebrate life with? Of course, like you said, the people in my immediate vicinity, like my parents, my dog Bailey, we're always together through thick or thin. You guys, come on, how can you not feel alive after that conversation we had off air, the conversations we have on air? It's just so funny. And like we said, it's all something to look forward to. But I also find myself now feeling alive even when it's 3 a.m. and my neighbors are playing basketball so loudly and I can't sleep and I'm annoyed. And you know what? For me, that's still feeling alive because I'm feeling something. This quarantine, it's oftentimes you find yourself numb because of all the uncertainty. But then when you feel something, whether positive or negative, you're okay, I'm still here, I'm still around, I'm still aware of everything going on, and that's a blessing in itself already. And I'm more afraid when I'm just numb to everything going on and living in resignation.
Right. Sige, I'm gonna jump from there later kasi mamaya yan yung prompt natin ng next question natin. But let's hear it from Lester first.
Ako siguro, I won't answer family and friends anymore, but siguro I have two answers to that question. Who makes me feel alive? My dog, si Rocky. Um, why? Because it's different to be responsible for someone. Like, I plan yung pagkain niya, I clean up, and everything else that comes around with being a responsible pet owner, di ba? Tapos, siguro yung isa, with all the online connections that we have, I used to really, really don't like yung mga group, kasi parang ang dami-dami niya, di ba? Yung mga messenger groups. Pero somehow, because I guess because it keeps you connected to the people that matters. I'm happy every time we get to interact on those groups. Tapos, especially now, parang di ba, MECQ ulit. I'm not able to see my choir again. So, parang we get to update what's going on sa chat. Yung mga no-nonsense lang na bagay. Na sometimes, you don't really get to talk to in person because you're busy doing things. Tapos parang, because you have that venue to talk to, parang yun, yung mga bagay that keeps me alive, I guess.
I'm glad you said your dog. Kasi sa comment section, meron din dito na parang, well, not naman the dog, but sabi po ni Yoy Banatlao, I hope I pronounced that correctly, I connect myself with nature. Because nature heals and restores. And nature heals wounded life and broken relationship with self, others, and God. Yes, I think like the other living things around us, no? So yeah, jumping from that question, of course we have that fear nga of not feeling alive or not feeling that excitement with na hindi natin siya nakukuha. So when these things happen or these moments come to us, like what do you do? How do you handle it? Do you actively search for something? Or nangyayari ba yun sa'yo na parang, sometimes nakakatamad naman, parang ganun. Or sometimes you feel stuck or stagnant, especially this pandemic that we are not, we're not able to go out and meet our friends. So parang nakukulangan ba kayo sa excitement? Nakukulangan ba kayo sa life? And how do you deal with that? How do you cope with that? Anyone can go?
Hirap ng tanong.
Hirap ba?
Exactly.
Okay, sige, let's take a moment. Sige, for me, sige, I'll go first while you guys are thinking. For me, yes, nangyayari din siya na parang, okay, sometimes I do feel na parang, I feel stuck and I don't know like what to do or something. Ayan. So what I do, medyo senti siya, binabalikan ko yung old photos. So, na-senti na talaga, old photos. And then, yun, parang, okay, sige, let's celebrate the memories. Ganyan. And then, pag may nakita akong photo na parang, oo nga, no, si friend A, tagal ko nang hindi nakakausap. Kumusta na kaya siya? Things like that. Or, sometimes, binabalikan ko yung old writings ko, the pieces. And then, I'm secretly mocking myself. Ang arte mo magsulat, di mga ganun. Ano ba to? Saan ka humuhugot dito? So, it's like living, I guess, like bringing, but I'm not naman living in the past, but it's more like going back and see na parang, baka there's something na hindi ko pa napipiga. Something na hindi ko pa nagagawa. Someone na hindi ko na nakakausap. And then I sort of like jump from there. Habang hinihintay ko yung next big thing na dumating sa akin, or maybe a new inspiration, a new project, new people to meet. Like I still want it to move kahit internally lang or within my reach, within my circle. Yun. So that's me. Anyone wants to go next?
Okay, I'll go next since you said like internally, because like I also like to fix my slumps and my problems internally most of the time, especially like when it's stuff like that in relation to moving forward or with productivity. So how I try to get out of my slumps is I like to fix my day. So I'm like, okay, from this time to this time I will be doing homework, from this time to this time I'll be doing something else, and from this time to this time I'll be doing something else. Because sometimes when I feel like I'm in a slump or mentally I'm just not in it right now, doing these other things will help me get back to that specific thing I really need to do later on. Because I feel like if I when I force myself to let's say when I force myself to get this really big project done, I find that I'll get it done in a longer amount of time because I'm not in the headspace for it. But when I'm productive with other things I can do, let's say the smaller projects or the things I do for fun, then I find myself in that proper headspace to do that bigger thing because I didn't force myself to do it. And at the same time, I was productive and able to accomplish the other things I needed to accomplish. So that also kind of boosts my morale for whatever I need to do. And then from there, when you're, in The Sims, you have inspiration mode because you fed your sim, you let the sim do what it wanted, you let the sim go on a walk. It really feels like that. Because I was able to do those little things and other things I needed to do, I'm on inspiration mode and I can do I can handle the bigger things and I can even go beyond that. So that's really the feeling.
Right. Yeah, I mean, okay, sige, wala na akong masabi. But
We are all Sims.
parang, yes, I am aligned with you. Austin, how about you?
Yeah, so for me, I think also I would do the same thing in a sense, because when I get stuck or when I feel like I'm stuck, that makes me feel sad. And I think that's the hardest part first, is when you feel sad and trying to get out of that. But once you start to really see it's something that you're doing, then you start looking at, okay, what do I need to do? What can I control so that my situation can get better? And once I start doing that, it helps me feel a lot better. And there are times that there are really some things you can't control. So best thing to do is just to express yourself. So listening to music is something I like doing, and just letting out those emotions. But because that's when I understand that you can't really change these things and you just have to bear with them. But there are obviously things in your life you can change. And I think that's something you should focus on instead of getting hung up on things you can't change.
Right. I'm thinking kasi parang kunwari, if we're going back sa sinabi mo kanina na, the skateboarding, and then, hindi mo na siya magagawa ngayon. Do you find things or find ways to sort of compensate?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, because I did lose one of my main hobbies. I don't get to skateboard, and I do get bored. So what I try to do is I take up other hobbies that I haven't explored in the past. Recently, I would start practicing guitar again because I stopped playing for a long time, and I figured I have the time now, so why not? And also, I wouldn't really stop with skateboard. I'd still watch and I'd still try to understand. So in my own way, I'm still trying to mentally prepare. So next time I go skating, I'd know what I want to do, and if I practice, I can get it easily.
Yeah. I mean, okay din yan, na parang if you can't do the thing, you can do something related to the thing.
Exactly, yeah.
And it sort of connect you to that one pa rin, di ba?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And also, I think it's because if you do something, you get this feeling of accomplishment, and then so even if you feel stuck doing these small things, even cleaning your room or making your bed, these small accomplishments in the morning gives you this metabolism or this role, and then once you get it going, you can start doing all these other things that you thought were hard to do before.
Yeah, gets. Okay. Sige. Next, any one of you guys?
Ako
Sige.
siguro na-relate ako dun kay Austin, yung making up your room. I like keeping things tidy and arranging things. Kahit na paminsan bukas gulo-gulo na ulit siya. Pero parang it's therapeutic for me to clean up. Whether arranging my toiletries, my clothes, arranging them in the same color, mga ganon. I feel accomplished every time I do those things.
Yeah, I think yun yung nawawala when we are nakukulangan sa zest of life, na parang where's the accomplishment, where's the satisfaction, where is the fulfillment, I guess. And I think it's really something that we seek or we crave for when we are kumbaga out of touch, or parang alanganin tayo sa kaya po when you wake up in the morning, or parang this is just a so-so day. Especially pag maulan, di ba? I mean, right, okay, just sorry. How about you?
Yeah. Ako, paano ba? Yung kasi I have this tendency of over-anticipating
Right.
things, no?
Right.
Na,
Okay.
syempre, to the point that if something happens that you are not prepared, of course, it's another, it's the opposite of the feeling of you being challenged, diba? Na parang you feel excited, but at the same time, you hesitate and you also feel, the frustrations. If, for example, you don't live up to the challenge, diba? So yun, that's for me, that's my sakit, no? Yung over-anticipation, yung overthinking, diba? But ako, ang way ko naman of curbing it is, well, for one, syempre, you really have to, you have to do good. You have to give it your best, diba? Para lang, kumbaga sa kanta, diba? You give your best even if your best is not good enough. Diba? So, but at least you still did, you gave your best shot pa rin, diba?
Yeah.
So, para at least sa'yo, you have the happiness or the fulfillment that at least I did something. At least I was able to give my all. Parang hindi na ako nagkulang doon.
Yeah.
Doon, I compensate myself for that. Another is siguro yun din, dinadaan ko na lang sa kumbaga minsan dinadaan mo sa biro na lang, di ba? Pero syempre, not all things are, can be kumbaga, can be joked around, di ba? But at the same, na parang, let's make it light, di ba? Yung parang if we can, let's make things light. And let's not complicate things. Parang, if for example, you have a problem, di ba? Or if you have a problem with me or something like that, all you need to do is yung mga ganong arrangements, di ba? So, those are simple things that can be, parang you don't need to complicate it. So,
yeah, I think in connection to that, kasi parang it's really very important then, I guess, for us to realize first what the things that threaten that feeling. Yun, yeah, like when you're just, I can totally relate with overthinking, because I'm an overthinker myself. My God, if you can only see how I process things. It's a whirlwind up there. So I guess in connection to life and how we see it, I guess it's what keeps us happy, or what brings out our inner joy. And then when that is threatened, we tend to kumbaga para react to it. So si Cha, sinagot na niya eh, like the threat sa kanya is yun the overthinking. So yun yung challenge eh. How about you guys? Like what really threatens your appreciation of things, of life, or the things that make you happy? I mean, bukod sa obvious pandemic na meron tayong situation now, are there like little things or big things that affect you or threaten your appreciation for your happiness or your sense of being alive? Sure, go ahead.
Siguro ako, sometimes I like things done in a way that I like it. So, parang paminsan, if it doesn't go or the way I planned it, it's disappointing, di ba? So, pero parang I realize that it's really parang it snatches the joy in whatever I'm doing. So yun yung parang just be open for surprises and be more spontaneous, I guess. Kasi paminsan parang gusto ko na lang siyang planuhin na parang from A to Z or from step 1 to step 5, ganyan. And if it's not done like that, parang something, parang alam mo yun, internally parang may struggle na parang may disappointment inside me. Pero I realize that parang sometimes I don't really need to make a big deal out of it. Yeah.
Not let it blow up na lang.
Yes.
Just really control. Okay. How about Max or Austin? Any one of you?
Mine would kind of be the monotony or like the stagnance that we feel sometimes, because like what Sir Lester said, like I felt that like there are a lot of things that aren't in your control and things could go south or in a way that you don't expect or you wish it wouldn't go that way. But then like there are also times where now, especially when every day is kind of the same as the last one, it becomes a cycle. And then when things become a cycle, that's when you start feeling the numbness we were talking about earlier. And then for me, when things like that happen, like it's a cycle, every day is the same, that's when my overthinking starts, because all of a sudden I have the time to overthink it. Unlike before, when we'd be going out of the house, we'd be going to school, we'd be going on site for work, we had so many more things to think about because we were seeing other places. Our surroundings weren't just one room or the four walls of your house. There was the trip to the place you were going, there are the different places in the place you were going, and then there's back home. But then now, like for me, my room is my classroom, my broadcast room, and my room, which leaves me with a lot of thinking time I used to not have. And then, of course, you don't really have the energy to make every day different all the time. And that's when it kind of starts. But then also, it's just about reminding yourself, like, well, this is it. This is what we're left with. So this is what we're doing now. This is the situation right now, and we can't change that. So what are we going to do about it?
Yeah, I think the monotony, it's like the things that it makes you parang spiral. Parang nagsispiral ka. Ganun yung feeling mo. But yeah, I mean, I do have to agree na number one, of course, the first step is to accept the situation, and I think Patrick would agree if he's here kasi yan ang kanyang practice. It's acceptance and commitment therapy. But yeah, the things that we can accept and and of course the things that we can control and we work within the means. Austin, you naman.
Yeah, so I think like what was said earlier, some of the things that do threaten my appreciation of life is sometimes overthinking, because sometimes they say some of the best advice for some people is to get out of your own way, because there's always a voice in your head that maybe says like, oh, maybe you shouldn't do that, maybe you shouldn't do this. And then while you're thinking about all that, there are so many things you could be doing but you're not doing. So part of that is like I try to catch myself when I'm doing that, which is not an easy thing because of course that it happens a lot. So when that happens, I have to try to tell myself, it's just that voice in your head, and you just have to like tell that voice to shh. Yeah, and I got that advice actually from Chris Evans. Like, he has this really good video because he actually struggles with the same problem, and it's like Captain America has that problem, like what? but he does, and like it's so funny. I really like how he talks about how he controls that problem. And another thing would be bad energy from people, because the internet nowadays, with how it is, you see a lot of bad things, and you see a lot of people who just bring people down, and it's just not good energy for you if you want to be happy and do a lot of things. So it's really good to regulate being exposed to that type of energy.
I like your sense of ano ba to? You didn't use the word that we love here, but it's mindfulness. Actually, what you're doing is it's listening to yourself, being able to catch yourself. So it takes a lot of, I think, practice also, and skill, and self-awareness for you to be able to catch yourself.
It's
back
very
and to
hard,
do
and a lot of
something
times
about
I
it.
fail. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's okay. I mean, it's really, ano ba? It's really, I think, normal for me. Para sa akin, parang it's really like normal to have those moments nga that we sometimes slip, ganyan. But the important thing is you are aware. Na-catch mo na yung sarili mo na para, oops, nagkamali ako. Or like, oops, or I missed that one. And then you're willing to do something about it. And then you're willing to, kumbaga, ayun din, filter rin. I mean, in terms of listening, di ba? Like you mentioned how cluttered and magulo our social feeds are, and ang dami ng negativity. So, the same way that you listen to yourself and you listen to the social feeds that we have, you also get to filter what or we pala, kasi ganun din ako, we also get to filter and choose what we want to listen to. I remember like my psych teacher, my psych professor told me na parang just listen to the things that would be helpful to you, and listen to the people who are really relevant to you and really know you. So
but
yeah.
I think it's also good to try to expose yourself also to things, because it's easy to get yourself caught in a bubble of things you believe, and then what happens is like when people tell you things, you're like, no, that's not true. Like, and yeah, that's another problem in the world today. Yeah.
Yeah, oo. Yun din actually, oo. Parang also, while you're accepting yourself, you have to accept others also.
Yes, exactly.
Diba? Okay, sige. So, oh wow, 1 hour na agad. Okay. Yeah, so I guess before we wrap this episode up, I really want to thank you guys for joining me. This is a safe space. We'll have a part 2 for sure with Patrick na rin sana. And for those people in the comment section who are watching now, good evening to you guys. I hope we were able to share like enough for us to be able to celebrate life, and I hope you guys are celebrating life as well. I'm just gonna siguro do a roll call of like parting words from my partners or my co-hosts for this evening. Any like insights or parting words you'd like to share with the audience natin? Anyone can go first.
I think it is clear. I got it.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, say Justin
Final
first.
na nga lang, sige. Di ba naman sa final parting words na nga eh. Anyway, ayan, nawala tuloy yung trail of thought ko. No, but
Nag-part siya from you. Okay, go ahead.
nag-depart siya. No, but siguro ang ano na lang is, yun nga eh, masarap mabuhay. I mean, kahit sabihin mo na life is hard, brings out, there are a lot of knickknacks here and there. Pero at the end of the day, it's ano pa rin eh, it's a blessing, that you are alive, that you are with your loved ones, the people around you. And yun nga, you think of yourself, regardless of what you're feeling, no, parang think of yourself as a blessing to others pa rin. One way or another, you will be, or it might not be now that that you will realize, but eventually, baba, you might become a blessing to others, at some point. Hindi naman necessarily pag sinabing blessing, may pera ka, 'di ba, na pwede kang mamigay, no? Baka naman. Pero, 'di ba, you'll never know. So, just continue to live on and yun. Become a blessing. Strive to become a blessing to people, to others. That's it.
Amen. Thank you, Shas. Okay. Who's next?
Sir Justin's a tough act to follow with that. Mic drop moment. But again,
Kayo.
right now, I realize that a lot of our problems, like a lot of things I feel, are also the same things you guys felt and shared today. And that kind of shows us that with everything we're going through right now, we're not really alone. And it's always easier said than done to say, like, I'm here for you, you're not alone, we're all going through this and we're all in this together. But that's the fact of the matter. It's true. We are all going through this and we're all in this together. So at the end of the day, we all kind of just have each other, and we need to remember that, even if it's hard to remember that, even if it's so hard to believe that this storm is gonna pass one day and we just don't know when, it's still going to happen. Like, I will quote my favorite Ben and Ben song, Leaves. All will be all right in time. And though it really doesn't feel like that now, and it's so hard to feel like that, once we get there, we'll realize, like, okay, this is it. This is the light we've been waiting for. This is the okay we've been waiting for. And someday all of this will just be part of our character development and like a chapter in our story we needed in order to get to the victory.
Yeah, amen to that. Akala ko magbe-break to song si Max. Naging musical na tayo.
Welcome to MindEd, the musical.
We'll have that soon. We will have that soon. We are all like musicians here. All right. Sino next? It's a toss coin between Austin and Lester.
Okay. Go, Austin, you like to go first?
Okay. Well, I feel like Maxine is also a very tough act to follow, but I'll try. So I think I would just say that a good way is just to really stay busy and really just find purpose, whether it's small or whether it's big, to find purposes in life to keep you going. Because there's a very famous saying that an idle mind is the devil's playground. So it's best to really just stay busy and just keep doing things so you don't end up feeling alone or you feel stagnant. So yes, that's my advice.
Amen to that. Thank you. And Lester?
Ako, siguro, ang masasabi ko lang, it's not every day that you'll feel okay. There are days that, you'll feel bad. You feel that you don't have direction. But I guess it's not a bad life after all. It may be a bad day, but not a bad life after all. Tapos, one tip probably is look for the blessings, I guess. The things that you can be thankful for if you feel bad. And yeah, I agree. I think try to occupy yourself with things that can make you productive. That's it.
Amen. I'm gonna copy everything. But yeah, okay. From me, I guess when you have those moments, it's okay. Take a step back, find a little quiet corner in your room, your house. Take a moment to breathe, take deep breaths, count while you're breathing, keep a grateful heart, and then smile and say, you're okay. You're gonna be fine. All right. And with that, again, thank you so much to my co-host now. This has been MindEd, your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits. On behalf of Patrick, this is B. I am just a letter, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Okay, so there's the thing that we do, the spirit fingers. So can we just do it as we go off air. Take it away, Justin. Thank you.
Let us understand mental health and explore how we can take care of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Welcome to your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits with Pat and B, here on MindEd.
Sa'yo sumisilong kapag ang puso ko'y pagod.
Radyo Katipunan. News